Alright, what's up guys? I wanted to do a video about this. I'm really not sure if I'm technically allowed to because I know a lot of the last test server renditions have been under NDA, but I didn't see anything about it this time around, and since they're allowing pretty much everyone with a level 30 account in, I'm hoping that you're kind of able to do this. But I really wanted to just kind of share my thoughts on the whole thing, so I'm going to do a very small video on this. I'm going to basically go over uh, this paragraph of information here, and then I'm going to go through one or two castles, maybe do my own castle or something, and then do another castle, and just talk about it a little bit. So they have this thing on the test server that they're working on. We've been working on a major update to the core attack experience. We felt that combat wasn't exciting enough in the game and didn't allow for enough room for the player skill to make a real difference. We want players to have greater control of their hero and increase the overall pace of combat. The design goal we've given ourselves was to provide a smoother, more responsive attack experience, and one that rewards player skill. At the heart of this update, you'll notice increased movement speed, increased attack speed, and skills with no cooldowns, and a revamped mana system that drives all these changes. All heroes rebuild mana by using default attacks. We're going to roll out a first work in progress version of the new combat system on the test server so that you can get a taste of what's to come. We're looking forward to feedback on what you like and what you don't like with this update. Our initial focus has been on the core feeling of the combat system, and we wanted to share this experience with you before we proceed to balancing the power of creatures to better deal with these heroes. This is a very important paragraph here because this is what I'll get into in a little bit on the balancing power of creatures. They need to do this right is the main thing that I want to say right now. This is very important as to exactly how they're going to do this, and I'll get into it a little bit more in a bit. Test server access if you've been playing Mighty Quest in the past 30 days and you have at least one hero above level 10. So it's actually level 10, 30 days. You've automatically been granted access to the test server. The test server contains a copy of your live account. Anything you do on the test server will not affect your live account. Simply use your account and email and password to log into the test server. And then you can copy paste this thing right here. It'll download the test server if anybody else wants to check it out. And then there's a forum account that a forum area where you can leave your feedback. So let's just jump into the game real quick. This is the test server here. The first thing that I'll note is that there's some interesting things that they did with the way that you can zoom out a little bit farther. You notice that I'm a little bit farther zoomed out than I normally am. When you zoom in, you can actually rotate on 8 different points instead of 4. So that would be your first rotation. There's a little extra one on an angle here that was never in there before. I actually like this for defending. I don't really like it for attacking as much. Attacking, it takes too long for me to be spamming the button and trying to rotate exactly where I want to rotate. So I hope that they maybe either give you an option of using the old one in attacking mode and use this one in defense or something like that. The game looks better, but I think that might actually just be my graphics options not being set the way that they were in the live version. I tend to play games on a little bit lower quality just to eke out a few more frames. But I mean, the game does look quite good. I didn't even I guess I've forgotten how good the game can look if you turn all the options all the way up as far as they can go. It actually does look pretty good. So when I jump into the castle, you guys will see it. I actually want to jump in with the mage because I haven't used it yet, and I want to see exactly how this is, how the mage is. The archer, I mean, it does make combat feel better. I'm just a little concerned. So I'm not sure why my abilities aren't working. One's working. There we go. That's better. So as you can see, no cooldowns is kind of crazy, right? And since the mage regens mana still, I feel like it might be a little OP on that side. There's this blue haze and the green haze. I'm not actually sure. I think that's when you use an ability that you can't use. This is a little bit too strong. I like it though. I do like this. I like the fact that it's kind of telling you without looking down at the bottom of the screen that you're out of mana. I kind of like that. It's not really that bad of a change. It's just a little bit too much right now. It encroaches a little bit too much on the screen. It needs to be like a little bit more transparent, and it needs to not be as strong, not be as far into the screen, I guess. I don't know how else to say it. Obviously nothing happened with the creatures or traps, and what I really want to get into is because you're moving faster, right? I'm moving a lot faster than the old mage did, I can do this, which gets me to pretty much anywhere really quickly. And since I still have full mana regen, I don't know if that's going to stay in with the mage, since other characters have to auto-attack to get their mana back. The mage would have a distinct advantage with this because they regen mana so quickly. What else was I going to say? The problem with this being able to move so fast and being able to dodge so quickly is that almost everything in the game is reliant on skill shots. The creatures and the traps are all basically timing, right? And so when you make one area faster, aka the hero, it will make everything else in the game so much more difficult to actually like get those hits off. Like let's take for instance Smelly Archer on Headshot, right? It's going to line up a shot, it's going to try to take a shot at you. If you're able to move this fast, it's going to be really easy to dodge. Same as these things, you know, they're rotating pretty slowly, they're shooting pretty slowly. Is the correct thing to actually just increase the speed? I don't think that's actually the case, but I'm not sure exactly how they're going to do this. They might leave heroes being a little bit too overpowered and giving people more defense points or something, which isn't the worst option in the world. I like the faster pacing of combat, right? People don't really like attacking, so if you can get through things a little bit quicker, and maybe there's more things to get through or whatever, that keeps kind of the time that you're inside of castles the same, but you're killing things quicker and you're going through quicker because you're moving faster, you're attacking faster, your cooldowns are off quicker and stuff like that. I don't really mind that, but I still think that it's going to be hard to force hits on all of these projectile attacks. Goatmen, Devlin, Charged Cyclops even, Scorpios, Hungerbots, all of these things have skill shots. It's all based on dodging, which that's kind of what they were going for when they said that they wanted to promote skill in attackers. I think it might be a little bit too fast, but I like the movement speed, and I like the fluid kind of feel to things, but I don't actually like getting rid of cooldowns altogether. I actually would prefer them to only have cooldowns, and I feel like managing cooldowns is more enjoyable than managing mana, and that's how it is right now. I don't think being out of mana is really a fun thing that people actually like. I think 0 cooldowns on abilities is a little bit too much, but I don't know if this is the direction that they're really going to take. It feels good and bad at the same time. You know, I'm worried about what they're going to do with this. Right, because I can literally just keep stunning things as long as I have the mana. Which, I mean, it's not like too terribly bad when they do go through and balance it. I still do take a little bit of damage. I use up my mana very quickly, and I feel like that's actually a bad thing, right? People, I don't know, it is kind of skill based in the sense that you're using your mana so quickly that you might use it on the wrong things, but you can shield yourself so much that I feel like it's going to be really hard to defend against people with shielding abilities. And you can see how fast this guy can attack as well, which is just disgusting. Like, I don't even understand why that's in the game. I like the movement speed. I think the movement speed makes the game feel better. I think the attack speed is a little bit too much, and I think that maybe cooldowns either need to be just shortened up a little bit instead of fully removed, or I don't know. The problem right now is that each character has an inherent mana advantage, right? The mage regens way faster than the other characters do. Archers regen a little bit, but they get decent amount when they're attacking, just in general. And then knights don't regen at all. They get stuff when they're just auto attacking, but at the same time, they have mana regeneration abilities as well. So to be able to balance that, it's going to be really difficult. Like, they're kind of going back to square one in terms of balancing if they release this update. Trap disable abilities are going to be really good because they don't have any cooldown, which is just great, but they do have a high mana cost. It's just going to take a lot of balancing work at their balance. I mean, the one merit is that their balance is already bad, right? So, what could they really do wrong? What could they do make worse than what they already have? The problem that I see is that there's so many units at a fundamental level that are just based on skill shots, and increasing the what do you call it? the movement speed and the cooldown so that you can dodge things a lot easier is going to make a huge difference in terms of how often these things hit. So that's what I'm most worried about out of everything. I don't know. It's interesting. I mean, it feels way different. When I first got on and I went through my first castle, it felt better. But thinking about it more and more, it's just really scary about what they're actually going to do. I feel like it does open up some options. Because you're moving so quickly, they could do things like bring back multi-floored castles. That's something that they had in the alpha. I never experienced it, but I do remember people talking about it and that they removed multi-floor castles and they weren't sure how they could bring them back. I mean, this could be something that could bring those back, which I think would be an interesting thing, but you're still using the same old creatures that are based on skill shots, so it doesn't really change a whole lot. The only difference is you can go through more rooms quickly. It does help the empty room thing, where a lot of people just put in empty rooms. You're moving quicker, so it doesn't matter as much. It's less boring traveling down empty corridors because you're moving so much quicker. And you're able to use a lot of mana, especially with, like, if someone leaves barricades here like this and it's an empty room, I can use these to regain a lot of mana because I can auto attack so quickly. So I don't know. It's interesting. I'm gonna leave this castle. I'm gonna go ahead and go on my archer so you guys can get a different feel, and I'll go into someone else's castle and just show it off a little bit more. Like I can see some merits to this, but I'm hesitant to think that they can make the right decisions. I just don't know what exactly they could do. Really, if they go through and actually get in depth with the creatures and make them have a relationship like they used to, make creatures work together better than they, like, I don't know. Like, they could do things like that if they're buffing the heroes to this level. I just really wish we could get that back, because in my opinion, that's when Mighty Quest was the most fun. When Cyclops has had a good amount of utility that they could help out other creatures and actually, like, helping their shots, right? They could take away stun immunity with this, because if you don't dodge the stun, then it's your own fault. You're moving so quickly that it should be fairly easy to do that. They could bring back Hungerbot hooks being super far and super long like they used to be. I know a lot of people don't really remember this because there's not a whole lot of old players left, but um, I have some footage that I wanted to put together. Okay, apparently this is just a farm, so I'm just gonna leave. You know, I had some footage that I wanted to put together at some point into like a montage of what the closed beta was compared to today, and at some point I'm probably gonna do that, but you know, I don't have the time recently. I haven't had the time to do it, but to bring back stuff like that where, you know, Cyclops used to stun you for long enough where Zeke would get at least 2 shots and actually hit them and connect with them. Right now it's based Cyclops on charge is just damage. That's all it is. They don't have any utility anymore. Hungerbots are almost a worthless unit. You only use them once in a while on sorry, I wanted to see if I could volley multiple times, but it looks like the mana cost is too much. What was I gonna say though? Cyclopses on charge now are just basically used for damage. That's really all they're used for at this point. Also, headshot is different. You have to actually hold it down. This is kind of being weird. I don't know what's going on. Headshot is a lot different. I'll show it off after I kill off this group. Alright, so headshot, if I just tap it once, I don't do anything. That's me tapping headshot. You can see I barely do anything. I have to hold it down to charge it up. It's kind of weird. They're changing a lot of stuff like that. It could feel a little bit better in terms of attacking. I mean, I think working on attacking is okay, but your real unique aspect in this game is the defending part. If you ruin that by doing these attacking changes, you're completely going to kill the game, in my opinion. I think the game, like, even though people are already saying the game is dead, and it is slowly dying over time, we're losing more people than we're gaining, killing what's left of defense, which isn't a whole lot, is going to kill the game. It's going to just 100% kill the game, and it will not be fun. Because I've said it time and time again, if you want an action RPG, this isn't the game to play. You're going to play Diablo 3 or something like that, Path of Exile, things that do it better. is what you're going to do if you want an action RPG. People play this for the defense. I'm actually kind of getting wrecked by these groups. A lot of this I'm not even used to, like how fast I actually move. I go to walk just a little bit, and I like cancel it based on the time that it would take me to move up just a little bit before, and I move way farther than I'm supposed to. But I don't know, it feels better in a lot of circumstances. I think maybe it's a little bit too fast, but I think just speeding up everything, like literally all of the units as well, I think that's a little bit too much. I don't think that's the way to go. So I don't know exactly how they're going to do this. And increasing the damage, I mean, it's just going to make one-shot kills, you know, back to the way that were. I would personally really like to see something new like multi-floor levels. I think that would be cool. Maybe some more defense points. Leave some of the creatures the same in certain circumstances, but bring back a lot of utility that used to be in the game. I really want to see more utility. So, like, there's these really fast mobile heroes. They do a lot of damage. They're kind of OP, but if you can lock them down and you can get a good stun on them, you can deal a lot of damage to them because they're not able to move. Like, that's maybe the kind of direction that I would like to see the game go into. So you can set up and you can think about the type of defense you want and think about exactly how this is all going to work. The problem is skill shots are going to be so easy to dodge, like Hungerbot attacks and stuff like that. I don't know how often you're going to be able to actually force those hits out. You know, there's a lot of things like jelly walls and stuff that are made to slow you down, and I don't know how effective that's going to be. Like, a lot of the timings in the game are going to completely change, right? So let's say you get flipped by a springboard trap and you get hit by a Hungerbot that has a punch drunk on. You can use that plus like a jelly wall and force I'm gonna die. Force smelly archers on sniper shot to actually hit, right? Like, there's enough time, but when this patch comes out, there won't be enough time anymore, so it's going to change all of the timings in the game. So I'm a little bit worried about that, to be honest. So, I mean, basically, a TLDR of everything that I've said is, I think it's an okay system. It might be a little bit too fast in areas, might be a little bit, I don't know, kind of crazy in some areas. You know, I think the cooldowns and stuff are a little bit crazy. The speed is a bit too fast, maybe, but in terms of making the attack feel fresh and feel a little bit better, it's okay. It kind of does the job. I'm very, very worried about how exactly they're going to change the balancing. If they just like add stats to all the creatures that are existing right now, and they don't change the actual mechanics of the creatures, I think there could be some serious problems with the game after that. So I hope that they actually go in depth and do it right, rather than just kind of do it half-assed and not really like look at the creatures and what they actually need in this new environment, because the game is going to fundamentally change with this extra speed. It's going to make creatures actually hitting their abilities a lot more difficult. So that's kind of my thoughts on it. I don't know. You guys can let me know what you think. And it looks like I skipped a totem group or something, so I'm probably not going to walk all the way back for it. I can see the red dot there. But yeah, I don't think I'll walk all the way back. It's not that far, I guess. With my new fancy speed, it's not that far at all. I do like the borders, but I think it's a little bit too much right now, as I said before. I don't know. I hope they don't release half of it and not the other half. I hope that they let us test the balance changes as well. Because right now, everything that I have to say about this hinges on the balance changes that they're going to make. If they go and just add stat improvements to the creatures, I would hate this idea. I think it would be terrible. If they go through and actually do a good job on, or at least try to do a good job on balancing things out and changing up creature abilities to like the projectile speeds and all that sort of thing, the stun times, all of that, it could be okay. It could be. Maybe it's a little bit too fast, you know. I'm moving really fast right now, but I don't know. We'll see what they decide to do. It's interesting. I'm kind of holding my feedback because it's kind of mixed at the moment. I don't really know what I like and what I don't like because I don't know what direction they're going to take the defending aspect of the game. I see the attacking, but since those two things, attack and defense, are so much interlinked together, it's really hard for me to have a feeling about this. I do think it makes the attacking feel fresh. It makes it go a little bit quicker, which is always good. Um, Maybe a little bit less boring in those long empty corridors, and that's kind of how they're trying to solve that. But I don't know. That's pretty much it. I don't have really much else to say about it. I was just going to do 2 quick attacks to show it off a little bit. You guys can download the test server if you're active in the last 30 days and level 10 and above, and check it out. You can let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next time.